They say it takes a village to raise a child, but how much does it actually cost? The answer is highly dependent on individual circumstances, but as a guide, a 2013 national study found that a typical middle-income family would spend about $812,000 on raising 2 children from birth to age 24. At the time, child-raising costs were increasing at around 9% per annum, so it's a reasonable estimate that these days the cost of getting 2 kids to the point where they are ready to leave home, that's not to say that they will, is closer to $1.1 million. And that's a middle-of-the-road figure. For low and middle-income families, transport is, perhaps surprisingly, the biggest single cost, but for high-income families, education takes top spot. It eats up over a quarter of the household budget. That's largely due to the costs of private education. The Australian Scholarship Group, ASG, estimates that providing just one child with a private education from preschool to the end of high school will cost close to $512,910 to opt for the Catholic system, and that drops to around $251,499, while government education comes in at roughly $70,454. Supporting a child through university adds substantially to these costs. Being forewarned about the costs of children, particularly educating them, provides an opportunity to prepare for the hit to the family budget. Take Ben and Laura, a young professional couple with a combined after-tax income of $150,000. They plan on starting a family in a few years, and after allowing for other financial commitments, decide to set aside 25% of their net income for their family future fund. Opting for the safety of a high-interest savings account, their return after tax is 2% per annum. When baby Rose arrives 5 years later, they have a head start of just over $195,000 in meeting future child-raising costs. But babies and toddlers are relatively cheap to support compared with older children, so Ben and Laura don't need to dip into their fund just yet. This is just as well as they are forced to stop their regular contributions when unpaid parental leave puts a dent in their income. When Rose is ready to start school at age 5, the family fund has grown to $215,463. Mia Friedman speaks to Scott Pape, the barefoot investor, on No Filter. Post continues below.